I've never done that before.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 action scenes in James Bond films.
Are you all right?
Just changing carriages.
For this list, we're looking at the most thrilling, elaborate, original, and satisfying action sequences from Bond films over the decades. We will be excluding one-on-one fights, however, as well as action scenes in which Bond plays a minor role. Let us know your fave in the comments below. Now, let the danger begin.
If you like what you're hearing, be sure to check out the full song at the link below.
Number 10. The Corkscrew Jump. The Man with the Golden Gun. We'll admit it, this scene has a lot working against it.
You're not thinking that.
The slide whistle, the comic relief character, the clunky editing, it's all pretty painful. But we ask that you overlook all the bad elements dragging the scene down and focus on what really matters here. That jump. Remember, this came out back in 1974, long before Fast and the Furious took car chases into overdrive. This barrel roll was a true feat of cinematic stunt work, the likes of which we'd never seen on screen before. Computer modeled in advance and shot in one take, it's not only a crucial piece of Bond history, but a scene that impresses to this day.
I've never done that before.
Number 9. The Ski Chase on Her Majesty's Secret Service. George Lazenby might not be the most memorable actor to have donned the mantle of 007, playing the character in just this one film, but he certainly forced people to pay attention in this scene. Okay, it was probably his stunt double, but still. This scene is downright exhilarating, a fast-paced nighttime chase scene that sees Bond tearing down a steep mountain slope pursued by an armed mob of trigger-happy henchmen. The quick editing and shaky camera, coupled with some impressive slaloming and ski jumps, make this one of the most unique chase scenes in the franchise. Number 8. The Tanker Explosion Party. License to Kill. Driving a big rig seems like it would get boring really fast, but not when you're sharing the road with Bond. When 007 takes the wheel, road hazards include rocket launchers, roadside assistance takes the form of a plane dropping sand on baddies, and tankers full of cocaine and gasoline explode left, right, and center. It's a manic sequence that feels perfectly suited to the 80s, and one that, to this day, makes us wonder, how much of that $32 million budget did they spend on this one scene? Number 7. The Aston Martin DB5 Chase. Goldfinger.
You'll be using this Aston Martin DB5 with modifications.
James Bond doesn't need a whole bunch of gadgets to make a car chase scene interesting, but they sure add to the fun. In this particular scene, Sean Connery's unflappable 007 calmly navigates a dark, winding road at night. Even with carloads of gunmen hot on his trail, he's able to crack a coy smile at Tilly Masterson as he shows off his car's various gimmicks. Though the fun is soon brought to a sobering halt, a fan-favorite gadget once again gives James the upper hand, leading to a thrilling second chase that sees him dodging bullets and taking turns at high speeds. This scene might not end in a win for Bond, but it made for one hell of a ride. It's an early moment that set the bar high. Number 6. The Lotus Esprit Chase. The Spy Who Loved Me. Another beautiful car, another thrilling chase.
James, that motorcycle has been
following us for the last mile.
This time around, however, it's one of the villains who shows off some rather interesting equipment. Though the motorcycle-riding henchman's time on screen was brief, at least his exit was made memorable with a little bit of humor courtesy of Roger Moore's smooth as silk Agent 007.
All those feathers and he still can't fly.
When the motorcycle is replaced by a car full of gunmen, it becomes Bond's turn to show off his toys. Quickly dispatching them, Bond then faces a helicopter before, wait for it, taking the fight underwater, because the Esprit is also a submarine.
Can you swim?
Seriously, this one is almost too good. Number 5. A Snowy Showdown. The Living Daylights. Speaking of cars that are more than meets the eye, how about this winter-ready Aston Martin?
We're just winterizing this.
In Timothy Dalton's debut outing as James Bond, he handled a snowy confrontation with slightly more elaborate style than a Lazenby on skis. A high-powered laser in the hubcap, a pair of high-powered mini-rockets, this car packs more than a few surprises.
I've had a few optional extras installed.
With the villains bringing out some impressive machinery of their own, Bond briefly disguises his car as a cabin before revealing some ski attachments for his car. Wonderfully elaborate and unabashedly over the top, it's the sort of scene that you can watch on repeat.
We've nothing to declare!
Number 4. Tank Chase. GoldenEye. Like Dalton, Pierce Brosnan made his Bond debut in style. Car chases with glamorous rides are always an attention grabber, but there's just something so satisfying about Brosnan rolling through everything in his path in a tank, dressed in a suit no less. Drifting in a tank isn't a thing, or at least it wasn't until James Bond got behind the steering wheel. As General Arkady Grigorovich Orumov instructs his driver to take one sharp turn after another, 007 simply demolishes the corners and alleyways in his Herculean war machine. It's truly a Bond action scene unlike any other. Number 3. The opening chase scene, Quantum of Solace. Casino Royale may have been better received, but there's no denying the fact that Quantum of Solace started off on the right track. A good action movie should always begin in the heat of things, and right from the very opening shot, Bond's predicament is red hot. The quick close-ups make for a thrilling and deeply visceral experience. You can almost feel the impact of vehicles smashing against one another. While most Bond chase scenes take place on picturesque winding roads, there are rarely so many other cars to contend with, which makes this action sequence particularly nail-biting. Number 2. Backseat Driving. Tomorrow Never Dies. Brosnan's Bond was big on the gadgets, and for Tomorrow Never Dies in particular, he clearly had Q working overtime. Tearing through a parking garage jam-packed with gun-toting henchmen, Brosnan chauffeurs himself from the backseat of his ride using a phone/remote control.
Reduce speed. Pedestrians in roadway.
The car is tricked out like a 1960s Batman utility belt, and Bond is clearly having the time of his life playing with all the toys. As exhilarating as it is fun, this action sequence reminds us that even 00 agents can have a sense of humor.
Congratulations on a safe journey.
Because there was so much action in James Bond films, we couldn't fit them all into a top 10. So before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. The Boat Chase, Live and Let Die. The Citroën 2CV Chase, for your eyes only.
Hold tight.
Opening with the fight on a moving train, Skyfall.
007, are you all right?
Just changing carriages.
Another boat chase, The World Is Not Enough. Building collapse in Venice, Casino Royale.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, The Parkour Chase, Casino Royale. It's no secret that many of Bond's best action sequences are car chases. However, when Bond got a soft reboot in 2006, he shook things up by delivering one of the most memorable on-foot pursuits seen in years. In a refreshing twist, Bond is clearly outmatched in terms of dexterity, but what he lacks in parkour skills, he more than makes up for with his creativity and sheer grittiness. Everything about the scene feels new and exciting, from the way it embraces a more modern action aesthetic to its willingness to let Bond get dirty. Even against decades worth of steep competition, it truly stands out.
Well, I understand double O's have a very short life expectancy, so your mistake will be short-lived.
Do you agree with our picks? Let us know in the comments. And hey, if you're a fan of the song playing right now, be sure to check out the music video for it right here.